early line in this game is Illinois is a 2.5 point favorite. I think is interesting considering what we just watched with UConn here. I feel like the books don't buy UConn. I think they feel like they might have gotten them
Hmm.
fading Duke and like we're a little wobbly during the tournament. And Illinois is more consistent, but I just have a hard time picking against UConn given all that championship pedigree they have on that group.
Yeah, that's a shocking line. I thought it would be the other way. UConn favored by a few. But yeah, like you said, I mean, this game, what does Terrace Reed do against that Illinois front line? What we talked about what Illinois was able to do, inside, rebounding the ball against Iowa in the points in the paint. Like, is Terrace Reed able to kind of take over a game like UConn? He's been on an absolute heater in the NCAA tournament for them. He's been their best player by far. I mean, no one else really has been consistent for them whatsoever. So if Reed is able to go against that front line, that Illinois has and able to control that game in the paint. Could be a long night for Illinois. Does UConn get something out of Mullins and Caravan and Silas Demery and Solo Ball? Like, are those guys able to hit shots? They were not hitting shots against Duke, and yet UConn is able to, hang around in that game until they finally, were able to hit a few at the end. So like, that should speak to how talented UConn is, right? That those guys played really across the board bad games, and they were in that game against Duke, and they were in it, enough to have a game-winning shot at the end there. So, will UConn get out of those guys?
Yeah, and this is a history spot for UConn here, this Final Four, because this is group. I mean, Illinois love them. They've we're back the
Yeah.
first time since the D. Brown, Luther Head, Darren
Yep.
Williams team that should have won a title in '05 where they ran into North Carolina in the Final Four. So
Mhm.
that group was great. But this UConn team, looking for history here, like looking to become like win for a third time in 4 years, has not been done since the wooden end of the wooden UCLA days. So that's like a very impressive lofty company they're trying to join.